Hello, welcome to another video. I'm often asked how I've achieved this look, which is a distressed look, curled the edges of paper here. This is quite a large amount of distressing, and on this one, which I've shown you before, for instance, there is just a little bit around the edges and on the flower, and it means that there is just a little bit of 3D without popping up onto 3D pads or something like that. It just creates a texture on the actual edges or the inside of the paper. And I'm going to show you how I do this and how you can achieve it in different ways. And I want to show you how different something can look when it's done. Now this is just a card blank, and I have some paper that I've already cut to size, and I've matted a couple of times, as you can see, and I'll probably put a bit of lace with it. Now I want to just show you how different it can look when you've actually achieved the crumpling of the edges. Now how I do it is to use my fingernail, and holding the paper down onto a surface, I create the edge by pushing down and running my finger along the edge, and what you get is a folded edge. Voila. And you could just do that edge. Now it depends. Material has a thread and a weave, and paper has a similar thing with the grain of the actual wood pulp. And so I've got a nice clean edge this side, and I do the same on this edge as going across at right angles to the other one. I'll get a slightly different reaction to the paper, and you get a slightly different look. This one, you may or may not be able to see, is more curly. Now I could just go round, all the way round, and just create a little frame, a fairly straight frame, such as that, and leave it as that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to distress it. And the way to do that, again, you can put this down, is to just literally scrape it up and down, in and out, distress it with your fingernails if you have them, and if you don't have them, and I'll show you on the next one, I just literally rough, really quite rough there. Okay, now you can see it's distressed around the edges there, and you've got a bit of the white because it's just white paper on the back showing through. Now you can use inks to change the colour, but it just gives that a bit of depth now. And again on this one, now this one I'm going to show you how to do it if you don't have fingernails, and it was only recently that I've had proper fingernails. You can buy these sorts of gadgets. There's a tiny blade inside these, and the way to use that is to run it along the paper. I was bought this as a gift, which is very nice, but I don't get on with it because it tends to make it furry, and it just sort of scrapes. It's too delicate really, and it just fuzzes the paper really. I prefer more of a fold. So again, put it down and run your finger along. This one, because it's slightly bigger piece, I'm going to be a bit more on the distressed side. Now this is just an emery board, a metal one, and let's put something underneath. If you don't have fingernails and you can't use a fingernail, then use this. Hold your finger near to the edge to stop it pushing in too far, and then pick it up with the edge of the metal. I've chosen this because it's metal. You can use anything as long as it's got a similar sort of flattish area. You could use a craft knife, although it'd be a bit more difficult. It's better to have something that isn't sharp, then you can be quite rough. And you pull all the way down, like so. and all the way down this side. And you can pucker it up quite a bit like that and rip it and squidge it, and there we have another one. And if I leave that as is, so not to do it too much, and pop that one on there, and then put this one on top. Now look at the difference between what it was like before with the flat paper and what it's like now with the edged paper. And I'll finish that off with a bit of lace, and there's a suitable vintage style picture. Isn't the picture sweet? Great for Mother's Day or something like that. So there you are. That's how to distress the edges of paper to give you a more defined texture to the paper. Thanks for watching.